Hi guys, welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. So I have some breaking news. This just in after a scandalous Ken Urker family reunion incident at a public beach. Gypsy Rose is currently on her highly anticipated worldwide Respect My Privacy tour. She's opening up for Harry and Meghan Markle. It's just appalling to see the lack of basic decency towards a good woman who has been through so much like Gypsy Rose has been. I mean, she's been through the tragic Xing out of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, and all the mysterious drama that's followed. Can you even imagine what this poor, but let's not forget she's really rich now, woman has endured? Why, she can't even catch a breath at a public beach pavilion. The sarcasm is practically oozing out of my mouth as I prepared for tonight's episode of Parawomen Radio, where we'll be adding some extra dark and twisted Gen X seasoning to the already juicy tale of Gypsy Rose Blanchard because she's toxic, and maybe a little extra salt and spice will make her story more palatable. I don't know. Right? Maybe. I don't know. Also, we're going to get into Dee Dee Blanchard's autopsy report and talk a little this and that with the old GRB case. I mean, there's always just some of this and that with this case, right? I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the Gypsy madness to roll in. Shout out to my Power Replay crew and my Dragonflies. It is Wednesday. Woohoo! Welcome to Parawomen Radio. I'm Amy.
Cavalier strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine. Cavalier strumming this old guitar again, words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Here in the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Hey guys, here in the essence of gratitude, I get another Wednesday with my power crew. How's everyone doing tonight? Are you ready to talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Before we go into it, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a fun way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated. Let me get my screen together and we'll get right into it. Okay, so there's a lot going on with the case tonight. A lot of this and that happening. Before we get into the autopsy report, I thought I would talk about a little bit of what's been happening this week with the Gypsy Rose case. Okay, so hold on one second. So this started last week, a lot of talk about like what are the changes that are happening on, where are the charges on Gypsy's case net. The first person that I noticed started to talk about it was What a Bug, and I noticed this.
Those of you guys, that are hardcore like me and you need your receipts, I didn't just make the last video that I made because I heard it. I went on and checked it. That's what I do. I check my stuff. But if you guys want to see it, here they are. Where are the charges?
So the charges just seem to disappear. Here's another one that she did. Let me get it back to the beginning.
What's going on, everybody? It's What the Bug. So, I don't know if any of you guys ever checked CaseNet, but Gypsy Rose's case has been completely taken off. Now, there's a few reasons why that would happen. The first reason is the charges were expunged. We know that didn't happen. So, the other thing is that maybe it was taken to federal court and it's up and rising and going up to the top. Tell me what you guys think, because I need to know. What's really going on, Gypsy?
Gypsy cracks me up. So just before I came on, I did find a little bit more information about where is it. I had Katie Joyless queued up, but I did see that Conspiracy released something just before, so I'm going to show hers first. And as always, we will show this and that, and I might not always read everything in its entirety, or I speed things up or slow it down. I do this for fair play use. I will put the links to everything that we watch down in the description below, and so if you want to go check it out on your own, that you're free to do that.
Actual case stops in 2015 now. It doesn't go all the way through to 2024.
Allegedly, Gypsy Rose has an open investigation for the feds.
But what if they're gonna send me back?
They're gonna send me back. I'm so sorry. I didn't want.
Sorry. Is Gypsy Rose Blanchard under federal investigation, or what exactly is going on with her court record? So what happened was about 5 days ago, people started to notice that Gypsy's court records on Missouri CaseNet were no longer showing her charges, and a few other things had been changed.
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and we have something really bizarre going on. And so I'm hoping that you guys can see this up here. This is Gypsy's CaseNet. And this, okay, so over here, if you click on these things over here, her actual case stops in 2015 now. It doesn't go all the way through to 2024. It no longer has the parole officer that just asked for it. It has none of her parole terms, none of those things. And this right here, if you go under charges, judgments, and whatever, sentencings, this is showing up. And I've never seen this before. Does anyone know what this means? Because I'm hearing it means charges are coming, but I don't know.
I've also heard recently that it means that she's pregnant and that she's super nervous. And she's talked her PO officer into that it's bad for the baby. And so they remove her stuff so that people can't bother her while she's pregnant. I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that's going around out there about this and that.
Asking for a friend.
Now, Missouri CaseNet is basically just a website where you can look up court records for the state of Missouri. However, when you pull up Gypsy's court records now, some things are no longer available to view. And then when you go under charges, it says this charge is no longer pending. Please refer to case number. And then they added a -01 for pending charge. So the case number under the charges tab is the same case number as the entry on the left-hand side of the screen, except they added that -01. So that has some people questioning if there could possibly be new charges. And others have said when things are removed from Missouri CaseNet, that typically means that a federal investigation is happening. So ever since it was discovered that these changes had been made on Missouri CaseNet, everyone is speculating as to why they think that is. Skippity Doodah, who was also incarcerated with Gypsy, posted a TikTok video about this, and here's what she had to say.
So it's been brought to my attention that Gypsy Rose's case is off CaseNet. So I'm going to explain that a little bit. Typically when that happens, when a state case is going federal, they remove it off CaseNet. That is public records. They don't remove it because she's famous or she's a celebrity. They don't do that for that. So 9 times out of 10, it's because the case is going federal and they have to remove it. And I know that because I was just following a state case and the case went federal. And yeah. So Miss Guppy, what's happening? What's the news? She may have been charged with something new or they're looking into her case. 9 times out of 10, she's in Louisiana. So I don't know if they'll ship her back to Missouri for federal holding or what that process looks like. But it seems you're in a little bit of a pickle. And it also could mean that the prosecutor is going after a different charge. That is said from a lawyer.
Now, shortly after this happened, Sir Morbid hosted a live panel where both Fancy and Becca Scoops gave their input as to why they think it's happening, with Fancy stating that they even called to ask about it.
I heard that a judge
Quite a
did.
bit.
I don't know if it's true though.
No, a judge
Fancy,
wouldn't do that.
what are your what did you
No. So what we found last night in looking, and what I've had confirmed for me today, because I had someone call the court and speak to the clerk. One of our supporters did, and she messaged me. They told her that they cannot give any comment on what is happening, but they said that they cannot give comment because it is a pending case, and they cannot
federal
give any
charges?
Ooh,
I don't know yet. They said if she was to go into the actual place, they could give her more information. They could be able to give her a longer thing because she can come in and request the paperwork. But she has to actually request the paperwork in person. We can't do it as through a FOIA, through anything else. So there is something happening. And what we found out last night was that actual sentence that everybody is seeing, where it says, these charges are not pending anymore, please reference. What that means in Missouri CaseNet through them, that generally means bound over for grand jury. And the reason that they do it is because they do not want the jury to be prejudiced by the original charges and things like that. So they seal it up. They present the jury with the only evidence that they're bringing forward for the new charges. And then once all of that is done and charged, it'll all be shown in CaseNet.
Now, shortly after the information came out, Bree, Gypsy's friend, was doing a live stream on TikTok, and she apparently texted Gypsy to ask about this, and then Gypsy texted her lawyer, and then she gave this response.
Yeah, so in Missouri, felony cases are broken into 2 cases. Prior to the preliminary and after the preliminary hearing, what you're seeing is the prior to preliminary hearing. Once it gets past preliminary, they add the -01 to the case number, but it shows up as a separate case, but it's really not. Anyways, the -01 is where the case is resolved. There is no legal reason it is not showing up. I'm wondering if the presiding judge increased the security level to stop the trolls from filing requests. The pending cause thing is what.
First, this could be just a story that Gypsy's trying to get out, that it's just, they're trying to protect the baby and, it's nothing more than that. Me personally, I hope it's more than that. I hope they're going after her ass. I really do. I don't really necessarily think she should be going back to prison on this charge, like for 6 more months or whatever. It needs to be all new, like get her on this all new stuff so that she's just not back out in the world. Like get her gone for a while, not for like 4 months. And then she's back out, right? More popular than ever.
But every preliminary case says once the 01 is created.
Let's go forward.
Cases that lives in Louisiana. There's also another Amanda Moore that is with probation and parole in the state of Missouri. Now, I truly believe that this is not by coincidence. I think what people fail to realize is the longer Gypsy has been out here, is the more she has been acting crazy.
So Nina made reference to an Amanda Moore that requested Gypsy's deposition. So I looked up the name Amanda Moore, and these are the people that stuck out to me. So for Missouri, there is an Amanda Moore that works at probation and parole. And then in Louisiana, there's an Amanda Moore that has worked for the Louisiana State Police. And she is also a criminal records analyst and a tin print expert. So when I looked up what criminal analysts do, it says that they analyze crime reports, arrest records, police calls, and other data to establish patterns and make correlations. They then synthesize the data they gather into detailed information used by their departments to make decisions about prosecutions, patrols, and staffing. Now, she is also a tin print expert, which is basically someone who analyzes fingerprints. Now, Nina also posted a follow-up video about what Key said. Now, Key is another TikTok creator who I believe works with some lawyers who have access to a database where they can see certain court records. So she asked him about it, and then this is what she said.
Someone I work for who's an attorney, look up this case on his database. And it's only available to people who work for the courts, for lawyers, prosecutors, whatever. It's a login that none of us have access to. And he said that the charges, the case is missing from Missouri CaseNet because there's an open investigation and it's federal. It's federal. And he texted me this morning and he said, who is David Blanchard? And I text back, I said, he's of no relation apparently. He was a neighbor who claimed to have, crawled through the kitchen window with the crime scene photos. I sent him all the case files on this. I sent him everything, allegedly. And these new pending, allegedly, in these new investigation charges, these new pending charges, allegedly.
Okay, you said it.
His name is listed several times.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know who David Blanchard is, he and his wife were friends with Dee Dee and Gypsy. They do have the same last name, but apparently there's no family relation. And on the night that everyone discovered that Gypsy was, quote, missing, he went to Gypsy and Dee Dee's home. Now, law enforcement was also present, but
he supposedly crawled through the window. I'm going to go forward. I will put the link for this if you want to look at it. He crawled through the window, but he crawled through a window that was loaded full of stuff. So how did he do it?
Because I was wondering maybe like the IRS and the fraud with like the trust fund and crap.
I don't know if it's that. I think that could be playing into it. I do think it's going to have a lot to do with a lot of the bullying and harassing, stalking of different people and reporting people. I think that's part of it. And I do believe that she could face federal charges for a lot of things that she didn't think she would. And the Fed weren't looking until they realized that they had all been had. And Missouri has fucked this completely up. That's what I think's happening. But I don't know.
So, is Gypsy Rose Blanchard being investigated?
Let's pop back and look at Haiti Joy really quick. This came out 2 days ago, though, so I'm not really sure if she has
whose
much
husband
difference.
works for the DOJ, and her husband apparently like spoke to Gypsy's parole officer allegedly, and knows why Gypsy's case got removed from CaseNet, and it's pretty interesting. I don't know if it's true. It sounds kind of strange to me, but you guys can let me know what you think. And also, I think that there might be something in here about why those copyright strikes are happening, and specific creators are allegedly having investigations done about them. Again, this is all alleged. I have no way of verifying what this woman said is true, but this is what she said. So let's see.
She won't be on her privacy tour.
But when you have them going in and telling this information, you're not just putting her at risk, you're putting that child at risk.
Okay, so let me get this straight. According to this woman, Gypsy's so special that she's the only person in the world that gets to get her case taken off because she's pregnant. Am I right? Is that what she's saying? Because that sounds a little ridiculous to me. Also, I have never heard any creator put out where she's going to the doctor. That is BS in my opinion. But if they are putting it out there, I do agree that's not okay. That's not cool. I also don't agree with calling her parole officer. I just want to put that out there. So anyone that's doing that, just stop.
I lived on a dead end street growing up, and there was another Williamson on the same dead end street. That was kind of weird. So, I mean, the same names. I mean, Williamson, granted, is more of a common name than Blanchard, but I mean, common names do happen on the same street, and let alone dead end streets where there was only probably I don't know, 40 houses on the block.
It's going to play out how it's supposed to. You don't need to interfere because it's just annoying, honestly. It's not helping. You're not helping anything by doing that. So just stop. All right, let's continue watching.
And in all honesty, if somebody wants to see somebody go to prison, if you literally put that unborn child, which literally in the state of Louisiana, and I'm sure Brody will be able, will be able to conflict with this completely with the people that you know. I'm from the same area. Once that is done in the state of Louisiana, then you're in trouble. And it's a criminal case. You put that unborn child that is technically considered, because it's over 90 days, you are now in trouble. So they were trying to stop it. The actual probation officer in Louisiana actually contacted the probation officer in Missouri because they are the ones that truly have the, all the yeses and nos for her, and contacted them and said, okay, this has got way out of hand. And now we have a safety risk.
And Mike Stanfield is still her lawyer.
Yeah.
So he probably personally reached out to the parole officers and engaged this after that. I know the exact post you're talking about, and I even commented on that. Y'all are not going to be happy till she is harmed and her unborn child is harmed.
Whoa, calm down there, buddy. Okay, nobody wants an innocent child to be harmed. Don't say things like that because it's not true.
When are y'all going to stop? I made a comment, and I probably got blocked from that account after I made that because I haven't seen anything from that account since. And it's Ivory Woo Woo Bestie, the Bayou T.
Well,
I went on. People were going to start yelling that, it was going to hurt the baby if you wish Gypsy ill will, that the baby was going to be in jeopardy, and the baby. It's all about the baby. What do you guys think? I'm going to come into chat and see what you guys are saying about all this, and then we'll move on. Giselle says, well, she's got a slappable face. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't think David unalived her, but he was there. somehow his name keeps coming up. So something is going on with that name. And as far as I'm concerned, when there's smoke, there's fire. And so that is now a name that I will be watching. Donna says, I doubt that's true because parole officers are the last ones to know anything about stuff like this. Like your lawyer is the last one to know. Yeah. Is her lawyer? Oh, well, he's obviously out of Missouri. I don't know if it's a small court or a big court, because usually it's like a very tight network if it's a small town, but I don't know what kind of town. Springfield seems like it's a larger town, but I don't know. I think David said he went to explain away all his DNA all over the house. I believe he was there. Oh, he went in so that he could explain why it was all over the place. Could be, because I mean, how did Gypsy, granted she was in there alone for 45 minutes, but how did it all get all cleaned up? We're going to get into the autopsy. I purposely haven't read much of the autopsy or listened to any of it because I like things to be fresh when I go into things with you guys. But yeah, we'll see. There's no way that big ass guy got through that little window. Yeah, it is strange. And that he didn't move anything around is very weird. He's a Comic-Con chairman, organizer, and Dan is his friend. Even more interesting. I mean, and isn't there supposed to be one of Gypsy's cousins in the parole board office? Or I mean, like, worlds are colliding in this case. And if Gypsy thinks, I wonder if Gypsy still thinks she's going to get away. But you know what? For like the 10% that we do know, there's this whole iceberg below the water that we don't know. Like, she's laughing at us at a lot of stuff, I'm sure of it. And then we like hit on one thing, and then you have to kind of look and see, how does she react? How does she behave? If she starts something new to get our attention away from it? It's really hard to know. Like, even when we had the wrong Dan, she probably was laughing the whole time, like, ha, 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 ha. It's right underneath their nose. And then, I'm sure that did anyone see that documentary about don't mess with cats or something like that? And I mean, there's only one of her, but there's tons of us. So I mean, maybe there's a few of hers that, but there's tons of us. And by a few of her, I just mean like her family members and Ken, while he's still, sucking from the teat from the Gypsy Rose well, while everyone's still drinking from the well. But eventually it's going to run dry, and there'll still be lots of us. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's go into the autopsy report. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, guys, and check and see if you're subscribed. I haven't watched any of Toddy One Skip in a while, so I thought that we would watch a little bit of Toddy taking us into the autopsy. Then we could read the autopsy, and then I've got a bunch of other little stuff to talk about, like why did her social media change the name of the social media, and the kayaking incident, and bunch more other BS. I also saw that there's a report out that Gypsy hit, or that Christy hit Gypsy Rose. So we're going to get into all of that too. Oops.
I'm skeptical. Everything that has to do with Gypsy Rose, I'm skeptical. I'm going to tell you that I did watch the Natasha Cooper, her theory on this. And I'm going to tell you right away, I disagree. I think it didn't have to be a grown man that did this. It didn't have to be the strength. Anger is an amazing thing. Passion is an amazing thing. There are people that have been proven to lift cars to get children out of the way of things or to get children from under things. There's adrenaline. There are things that we cannot explain. You know, there are people that can do amazing things without using their head and thinking and just grabbing energy from God knows. I don't know how that stuff works, but I know for a fact that there are people that can.
Yeah, I would like to know if that 45 minutes could be proven. That's why I've never really done too much on it, because like, where's the proof? Like, it's just, where's the proof?
Lift things and do things that we've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like people that run up walls. Who would have thought people could run up walls, right? So as far as somebody having the anger, the adrenaline, the passion to unalive somebody in such a brutal fashion that Dee Dee was, yeah, I don't think that it takes a man to do that. I think absolutely Dee Dee could have done that. And I think that it's wrong for somebody to say only one person did all of these stab wounds. I mean, I don't think that any of us could say that. We can all have opinions, right? We can all have opinions. If we're to take this as fact, then it doesn't say who did this. It doesn't say if they were left-handed, if they were right-handed, if they were strong, if they were weak. It doesn't say male, female. It doesn't say, right? It doesn't say. It says that there were 17 jabs.
So she makes a good point. It doesn't say if it's male or female, you know, it's just like the same with when an addiction comes knocking. It doesn't say if it's coming knocking for a male or a female. And yeah, adrenaline can give people amazing energy and strength.
So yeah, sorry about that, guys, but 17 jabs. So it shows that there were 17 jabs. It shows that Dee Dee was a very sick woman who apparently had cancer, if we're to believe the autopsy report. So the bullshit and obese. She weighed 255 pounds. She was 5'2".
Oh, she was.
I'm about that size. That's more than 100 pounds of me. And I feel like I'm 20 pounds overweight. So my back hurts. I can't even imagine. So so Gypsy's bullshit about that she was afraid of her mom. Of what? Of her mom eating her food? I don't understand. And this just tells you who Gypsy is. So this is the worst part. And it wasn't in the autopsy. I watched Nina, beauty influencer. I really like Nina. I watched her, and she had put up one of Gypsy's, I guess, videos of Gypsy cooking for Ken and how Gypsy was so emotional. And this was the day that the autopsy report was shown to the world. And Gypsy was emotional on how she was so in love with Ken, and she couldn't believe that Ken was going to be hers, and they wanted this future. And here's
set the camera, the shot up just perfectly. She can cry on cue, and I can always tell when it's a fake cry because she cries up into the air. She cries up into the air.
The woman crying with tears. I mean, if
Make
you want to
sure
call
you
Gypsy a woman,
see it.
actually, I guess she's a woman, but she's fucking gone in the head, because the disgusting bit was we
And
now have a full picture of what happened.
It got millions of views on the day the autopsy came out, and it got millions of views. I've actually blocked her over on TikTok now. I've blocked her page. I don't even want to accidentally go to her page. I'm just done with Gypsy Rose. This right here is disgusting that millions of people went to see it.
Happened to your mom, if we're to believe this autopsy report, how sick your mom was that she
got so much money on the day that her mom's autopsy came out.
Wasn't medicated in any way, shape, or form, according to the toxicology report, and your mom was definitely in pain, which meant you let her be in pain, which meant we already know for 100% a fact that you masterminded this, Gypsy Rose. But we've never seen you shed a tear, yet you fucking cry like a wimpy ass baby when it comes to your love towards Ken. Now, Yerkers, whatever the fuck your last name is, if you don't have a red ass flag after reading this autopsy report and wondering why this woman isn't still mourning the horrific death of her mom. You know, I've watched the Wade Wilson case. We're all here because of true crime, right? Most of us are here because of true crime, I think. And I felt so sad for Christine Melton. I felt so sad for Diane Ruiz. We feel sad for victims. We might not even know them, but we feel sad. There's an empathy. There's a sympathy if we
felt sad. There's a lot of us that felt sad for Gypsy. If Gypsy had just shut up and went away, but she can't do that. Gypsy is one of those criminals that just can't go away. But, you know, she's one of those people that I think is always going to rise to the top. She's always going to somehow scam her way to the top because she knows how to do that. She just is. She's doing it to us now.
You know, depending on what we've been through, there's nothing when it comes to Gypsy and her mom. And yet we have in our mind all these wonderful memories of them being shared. Those two sharing things, Disney trips, a home, experiences, the way they held hands. And it wasn't held hands to scare somebody or to push somebody's hand or squeeze somebody's hand to make them say the right thing. Rod, wake up, man. You better wake up because your daughter is a cold-blooded murder.
I'm with Toddy on this one. Her family better get it together because Gypsy's going to destroy them. She'll destroy them if she can, if she has to, if she feels like it, if she must, if she wants to, if it's that time of the day, if the sky's blue. I mean, just whenever. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. Okay, let's get into the autopsy itself. All right. Let me hold on a second. I can't see. I forgot that when I put it together like this, I can't see it. Hold on one second. I think it's right here, actually. I have this channel who has it, and I'll just read it off of their page because it's easier for me to see it this way. Okay. So this is the post-mortem examination of Claudine Blanchard, and I am going to have to change things, a few words around here and there because of the fact, well, I'm assuming that I'm going to have to because of the fact that YouTube doesn't let me say certain words. So on June 15th, 2015, at the Greene County Medical Examiner's Office in Springfield, Missouri, a postmortem examination was performed on the body of Claudine Blanchard, an adult female. The autopsy was performed under the authority of Missouri state law. It was conducted by Jeff Harkey and assisted by Tom Vanderberg of the Medical Examiner's Office. The history prior to her passing, Miss Claudine Blanchard had lived with her daughter in a residence in Springfield, Missouri. After the neighbors reported to the Greene County Sheriff's Office that both women were missing, a search warrant was obtained, and hold on a second. Let me make sure I have it on the right one. I don't think I do. Hold on. There we go. In case you like to read along with me. Where was I? A search warrant was obtained and deputies entered the Blanchard residence on June 14th, 2015. Miss Claudine Blanchard was found lying prone in her bed. There were there were obvious signs of death. No resuscitation efforts were begun. Miss Claudine Blanchard was pronounced DEA at the scene at 3:13 p.m. on June 14th, 2015. The Genesee County Medical Examiner DEATH investigator was called to the scene and reported that Claudine had incisive marks on the neck and multiple wounds of the back and torso. Medical records dated June 5th, 2015 indicated that the decedent had a past medical history of asthma, gastroesophageal reflux disease, thyroid disease, diabetes, headache, what is that? I don't know what that is. And, it's some type of cancer. Hypomia and endometrial cancer. Wow. She had a surgical history of hernia repair, appendix, tonsils, hysterectomy, and wow. So she was in, well, if this happened while Gypsy was alive, then she was in the hospital quite a bit. And I don't know what that last one is. It's something ostomy. Her prescription medications were not listed in the medical record. It was reported that medications at the scene were collected by Greene County Sheriff's Office. Let's keep going. Okay. No, this isn't right. Hold on one second, you guys. I think I went forward too far. Oh, I always have problems with these.
Two, multiple, 17 stab wounds of the back, chest, and neck. A, 6 wounds penetrate into the chest cavities.
Okay, so actually, I'm just going to let her read it. I'll take it back to the page where she begins.
Sheriff's Office. Summary of autopsy findings. 1. Adult female in an early state of decomposition. 2. Multiple 17 stab wounds of the back, chest, and neck. A. 6 wounds penetrate into the chest cavities. 1. Injuries of the upper and lower lobes of the left lung. 2. Injuries of the upper and lower lobes of the right lung. 3. Perforating injury on the posterior wall of the left atrium of the heart. 4. Hemoparacaterum, bilateral hemothoracis. 5. 2 F. The wounds pass through the right pleural cavity and penetrate the liver. B. 2 stab wounds of the back of the neck.
What type of cancer was it, Kimberly? Was it somebody just said it, that's why she had the hysterectomy, was because of the cancer? Was it all interuterine cancer, or was it all for female issues, or was any other type of cancer?
At the base of the skull. C. Visceral pallor due to blood loss. 3. Multiple incised wounds of the neck. Deep wounds. Number 1. Transversely across the back of the neck. A. 7 1/8 inch length of the skin surface. B. Penetrates up to 3 inches to end at the spine. 2. Obliquely on the right side of the neck, inferior to the lower jaw. A. 4 1/4 inches in length of the skin surface. B. Was produced by at least 2 cutted motions. C. Penetration of 3 1/4 inches to end.
I'm not even going to try to get this monetized tonight. Nobody's here anyway. I mean, so we'll just let it play and not worry about what's being said.
Of the spine. B. Multiple parallel superficial wounds right side of the neck. 1 incised wound on the back of the 4th digit of the left hand. Obesity, 255 pounds on a 5' 2" frame. Apparently, remote surgical abscess of the appendix, gallbladder, uterus, ovaries, and fallopian tubes. Enlarged heart, 405 gm. Steatohepatitis and hepatic fibrosis. Toxicology. Blood screen equals negative for alcohols and drug of abuse. Because evidence of injury consists of specific injuries with precise sizing of the wounds and about 5-6 pages long, pretty much getting into depth of the location of the deep wounds and the incised wounds, I decided to instead just include the summary of the autopsy findings, which pretty much tells you everything you need to know there. And as you see here, I will now include the anatomy of the body and where
you can see here where the wounds are. If Nick was to be believed, he said he did get on her back, and a lot of times when people go into psychotic or whatever it takes to unalive somebody type mode, I could see him or her, whoever did this, it being one person doing it. What do you guys think? Can you see it being just Nick doing it all, or do you think that it was more than one person doing it, or do you think Gypsy did this?
The deep wounds and incised wounds were placed and are indicated here on this diagram.
Let me go forward and we can see here there is this one on the side wound. She must have threw her arm over. And then we have some up here we have a neck wound, and some on the head. some on the side as well. She has only a few defensive wounds, only wound here. Looks like there's only one defensive wound. And then we come to the toxicology, and I mean, no alcohol, none of these substances that Gypsy told us that her mom took before she would go to bed every night. So, I mean, what's up with that? What in the world? Nick was the frame guy, you think? I just started following this case. Is Gypsy Rose going back to prison? I hope she does. We covered it a little bit in the beginning. It's word on the street, and this is all word on the street. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. My opinion, that there is possibly a federal case being opened on her. Me personally, I hope it's true. But the skeptic in me, I think it's just she's talked somebody into that. She's scared. The baby needs to be protected. You know, protect the baby. They're coming for the baby. They're making me nervous. So I felt a flutter with the baby. You know, like she got pregnant for a reason. She got pregnant for a reason, this thing. Then we have this that she is pulling.
Not sure if you guys saw or not, but Gypsy changed her name on Instagram and on TikTok. Gypsy Rose Media. Whatever. What do you guys think? Did the PR team take over? Or do you think that she still got access? Or do you think that she has to just send everything to them and they completely take everything and run with it?
Or did she create this situation so that she can just say, it's not me, it's them, it's the PR media. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's the PR media. It's not Gypsy Rose. I think Gypsy and someone else, Dan or David, then Nick, either had a couple because of goes or defaced a corpse. I don't know. There's indication of both left and right hand being used. In Nick's testimony, he gestured with his left hand and said he only used one hand. I tend to believe him. Yeah, it does look like there's a line going on the left and the right, like a distinct pattern. So that is very strange that that line happens. It would be good to have somebody come in that so it was just endometriosis. It wasn't any type of cancer, because I had endometriosis and I've had to have that surgery, the laparoscopy a few times. So it wasn't any type of like cancer. Not to say, I mean, some endometriosis does turn into cancer, but is that where it's just endometrial? And I just keep saying just, but it was endometriosis. Was that it? I don't want to make it just seem just, because endometriosis is a beast and I had it. So I don't want to downplay it at all. I also believe Gypsy participated in the matricide, not solely Nick. She manipulated him into helping her and taking the fall. Yeah. At the very least, she manipulated him into taking the fall. At the very most, she did it, she did all the stabbing herself. And maybe somewhere in the middle is where it all falls. She did more than she says she did, though. That's for sure. let's keep going.
Is that they appeared to have.
So Gypsy, of course, always has an answer for everything. And so Gypsy explains, let me make sure okay. Gypsy explains the username change on all her platforms. Why no check mark? And she says, probably because I wanted to change my username and profile picture to one of Ken and I. And then the person said, why the name change? And she said, because I felt like it.
I didn't call them stupid. I would never. What I said is that they appeared to have bad luck when it came to thinking.
Felt like it.
Totally.
So that's her reply to people who are just simply asking her questions. So then last weekend, there was the Urker family reunion where Meghan Markle and Prince Harry took their privacy tour too. And of course, guess who was there? Gypsy and Ken singing for them, wanting their privacy. Right? But of course, you can't give them their privacy in the middle of a lake in the summertime in Louisiana. I mean, Gypsy wants attention when she wants attention, not when you want to give her attention.
And kayaking video, Lindsay Ann posted a
This is what the person who had the interaction with Gypsy Rose over the weekend had to say.
additional videos, and Gypsy has responded. I will tag OP poster down below, but first, let's watch her video.
OP for the Ken and Gypsy kayaking video, so for those of you who are still doubtful, just watch. So they're pushed off at 3:19 p.m. After their push-off and photo, they did paddle a loop. Exactly 3 minutes after push-off, they made it back to shore. There you have it. We're all looking at the same thing, timestamps at the top, do what you will with the information. Honestly, if they would have been such assholes, I probably wouldn't have posted it.
Now, another TikTok creator right here, Lottie, also posted OP's videos, and then Gypsy commented. So Gypsy said, it was my aunt's kayak. We were there on a family reunion trip where we were being very respectful to the other people. However, people kept coming up to us and invading our privacy. Now, that may be the case when it comes to other people, but according to Lindsay's original Facebook post, either one of Gypsy's family members or friends actually approached her first because they thought that she was taking pictures. And then as Lindsay and her child were leaving, someone yelled, y'all caused a lot of madness. So that's the update. Let me know what you guys think down below.
So basically, Gypsy Rose had a little spat at a lake, demanding that they give her her privacy. She wrote this. This last weekend was the Blanchard family reunion, which I don't think it was. I think wasn't it the Ken Urkers? Was it the Blanchards? I thought it was the Urkers. Anyway, it was a wonderful to meet everyone and learn about our family history. We spent the weekend at the lake where everyone was having fun, enjoying our time together. However, our union was constantly being interrupted and invaded by people wanting to invade our space and privacy. I just want them on my TikTok lives, not in person. Circling our campsite with cameras and phones. Oh my. Who wants selfies or photo ops? I can't take it. I can't. I just want your money, all right? As much as I appreciate the support of the locals, I only ask to keep in mind that we have extended family members who do not want to be a part of the madness. Then stay home, Gypsy. The world's mad. You're in it. You're one of the maddest things in this world, in my opinion. I would ask for people to be more conscientious to a woman who unalived her mother when approaching or interacting with me in public, especially in such situations surrounding family events where I'm considering whether I might want to harm them or no. Sorry. That's all alleged. That's just me having fun. That's me having fun. Thank you for your time, Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
I asked my one of the first way you gave it to me the wrong way. So you would have helped me, you would have given it to me the right way I asked for it. That would have helped me.
And the point is here, Gypsy is respecting other people's privacy in the Waffle House, eh?
I need him to get the fuck from around you. That's what I need him to get the fuck from around you. Cause I'll show you a bitch this bitch. No, I asked them to come and get my cash down for a fucking waffle.
And she's from prison. She acts like she probably never, she's trying to make it seem like she's, anyway. I when I saw this video, I thought to myself, is Gypsy Rose Blanchard racist? Because I smell racism here. I don't want to be the person who screams racism, but this seemed racist to me. And then when Becca Scoops came out with her last video on Gypsy Rose, and she talked a little bit about how Gypsy was participating in some racist type activities online, I was like, yeah, okay, got it.
This company right here gave Gypsy these free.
So if the first company people didn't learn from the first company that donated the ultrasound, I don't know why this company thought they could come along and be any different, but this company decided to come along and donate to a millionaire that unalived his mother that doesn't need it in any way, decided to shoot their shot, and this is what they got.
Free things, and it also says baby Urker. Now, knowing that this says baby Urker, that means they're condoning the fact that she committed adultery, had a baby while committing adultery. That's how much this company lacks integrity. Also, they don't know for sure if the baby's last name is going to be Urker because they don't know for 100% that he is the father. Were they in her cooter? Y'all, you know what to do. Make your little reviews. Tag this, stitch this. This company is another company that needs to be canceled before they were even started. Furthermore, they're condoning a woman that unalived her mom having a baby. What is wrong with them? I can't understand for the life of me why a company would want to endorse Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She has her mom's crime scene photos going viral. Her mom's autopsy just came out, and it's showing that her mom was not under any extreme medication. So she had her mom brutally unalived and never gave her anything to even soothe her.
Stone cold.
And you're going to praise a woman that has done all this, created all this ruckus, and put her on the internet and give her free stuff, and you think it's okay? Somebody that has...
I don't think that this company is going to think that this was a good idea. Even by tonight, I don't think they're gonna think it's a good idea. But maybe there's, you know what? There's people giving money to Gypsy Rose. There's probably people that are gonna be like, hey, I want to dress my baby just like the company that donated to Gypsy Rose. So, maybe. And there's also this supposed wedding registry that has popped up. It has not been verified. It could be fake. But March 1st, 2025, in 204 days, there's a registry. And you'll notice that Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker have added items from Target, but our members can add items from literally any store That's the beauty of having a universal registry at myregistry.com. So if you want to go donate to the Gypsy's possible wedding, I mean, why not? Who cares if it goes to Gypsy and Ken? I mean, if you're dumb enough to donate to Gypsy and Ken, who cares if it goes to them? Because you're just throwing your money out the window anyway. So who cares if it gets to them? Go ahead, donate. This is the Cozy Crew Club facing actual backlash for doing what they did. So people are going after him, putting in comments, supporting a schmurder. I guess that's what everyone wants to support when shopping for their baby. LOL. By the way, for everyone liking my comment, the Cozy Crew Club company blocked me for commenting a similar comment on their recent post. And then this posh American says, me too. I will not support a company that promotes matricide, which is so interesting that they are supporting a baby company is supporting a matricide. It's just weird to me. But we're in an upside down world right now. And all we can do is just keep talking about it, I guess. So your company aligns itself with a mommy unaliver who manipulated an autistic man to do her dirty work for her. Despicable business practice supporting schmurders. Why are you supporting a mother unaliver? She unalived her mother. Look up crime scene photos. So yeah, I'd say people are really going in. Some people, this person got in so cute, so cute. Keep giving Grifty Rose free stuff. So gross of you guys. So here and there, some cute things get put in there. But other than that, nope. Nope. I'm going to finally show you this, and then I will let you guys go. This is Katie from Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime. Accusations, Christy Blanchard hit Gypsy Rose.
Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. We've got some serious issues going on here. Recently, on a live on TikTok, Katie Joy accused Christy Blanchard of hitting Gypsy Rose and also reported all of this to Gypsy's parole officer, along with some other things she thinks like Gypsy's harassing her. Of course, I am surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. We've seen this over and over and over again with Katie Joy. So many people tried to warn the Blanchard family about what Katie Joy was likely to do at the end of their relationship. And it's hard to watch it all play out. Unfortunately, a lot of what Katie accuses Gypsy of doing they are things that Katie's been doing for the past 5 years with no consequences, unchecked. It's really interesting to see how Katie goes after people who act an awful lot like her.
I did email the parole officer today.
What'd you say? Anything that you can share, or is it?
Yeah.
Long pregnant pause.
I just let them know like they were doxing me and harassing me and posting documents from court that are confidential. Explained what she's doing with Bree, how she's manipulating her to fight her battles, and Bree's posting for her. And I shared screenshots of Gypsy admitting that she uses other people to fight for her.
So first, I know that so many of us have been really frustrated with Gypsy's behavior since she got out of prison, but I really think it's up to the authorities to actually track down like real crimes that she commits, not like fighting with people online. I don't necessarily think that that's going to get her parole revoked. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I do think that it's really interesting that Katie Joy would report these behaviors as like criminal acts to send someone back to prison when there's so much evidence, in my opinion, that Katie Joy has been participating in the same behaviors forever and that she's really affected and hurt so many people online, other creators, subscribers. I mean, it's just crazy to think about how she is doing everything she can, in my opinion, to destroy anything good that Gypsy has. You know, however we feel about Gypsy, I've had a lot of issues with her. You know, I've gone on this journey of going up and down. I just think that doing everything you can within your power, taking your time and energy and like mobilizing your subscribers towards trying to find things to get this person back in prison is just not something I want to participate in.
And then I shared a screenshot of Bree telling me that she posts exactly for Gypsy, because I wanted them to see that like the behavior that's happening is directed by Gypsy and that she's harassing and stalking content creators that are critical of her. And then I said that there's fighting in the house, that Christy told me that she hit Gypsy.
So Katie Joy is literally making the allegation that Christy hit Gypsy and that she had to.
Well, if Gypsy is putting hands on other people, I would imagine that maybe they live in a household where it's a handsy household. Not saying that's right at all. It's not right at all, but that's what I envision the scenario that, and by handsy, yeah, handsy, I mean handsy.
Report that to Gypsy's parole officer to make them aware. Like, I almost feel like not only, I think that Katie Joy understands that this is information that wouldn't necessarily like get Gypsy sent back to prison, but it could get the baby removed from the home. Like, and maybe that needs to happen, but like, I think to myself, you were friends with these people for 5 years. You were clearly using them. Here's the thing about it. Okay, you're using them, whatever. But like, you were watching, listening, hearing, knowing about all this shit, this horrible shit that was going on behind the scenes. Now you're telling us about it. But before, you were just sitting back like, oh, well, let me help you cover that all up and say all this positive crap about you on the internet. You were fine with covering it up when you were going to get something from it. When they turned around and didn't want to use you to be like a media person, then you came forward valiantly to expose them when clearly you were never going to expose it before. And that is Katie Joy. That is who Katie Joy is. So it's I don't know what to think. I know that Katie Joy lies because she's lied about me. You know, I've been there, I've been through it. So it's hard to know if I can believe this or not, but part of me does believe it because of what we've been hearing from other people is going on behind the scenes. I just think it's crazy that Katie is making this kind of allegation on social media.
That the police have come to the house multiple times and that they're consumed with the online content and they are obsessed with discrediting and harassing anyone that doesn't buy into the narrative that Gypsy wasn't justified. And I explained, like, now that she's out, she doesn't believe she's guilty.
Right. So Katie Joy is claiming that she turned all this information into Gypsy's parole officer. I think
I do believe that Gypsy thinks she's not guilty. I think in her mind, she probably does think she's not guilty. Do you guys think that in Gypsy's warped little mind that she thinks she's innocent? And that I really think that she thinks Nick is the scum beneath her shoe. I think she believes that. I was like looking at the video of her making the spaghetti on somebody else's channel, and I don't know what she was blowing on, but she was blowing on shit. And then I was looking at her like, she planned the unaliving of her mother, and she used to pretend like she was a disabled person. Yeah. Wow. I mean, wow. And she's a millionaire for it now. Wow.
I don't even know if I can believe that. I mean, if you go to the WOACB Reddit, you can learn a lot about Katie Joy. She says things that don't always come to fruition. And so it's really difficult to believe her about anything. It really, really is. I mean, I've experienced it firsthand. She has told major lies about something in my personal life, you know, so I get like how she is and how she operates. So it's really hard to hear all this. I just think to myself, like, it's interesting to see the way that social media is turning on Gypsy and this family. And like, I just want it to be fair. Like, there are definitely things that they're doing that like we all have been criticizing and we all are very frustrated with. And, you know, those are some things that maybe Gypsy's going to get in a lot of trouble for. But like, I don't want her to be lied about. I don't want, you know, things to be exposed that aren't real. So I'm unsure what to think about all of this. Please do your research when it comes to Katie Joy Paulson before jumping on this bandwagon and just being like, yeah, for sure, that must be what it is. Katie Joy has a long history of participating in behaviors that are.
I think the thing that Katie Joy has going on with Sir Morbid could be her downfall. I don't think that's going to end well for Katie Joy. And she might end up, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to end well for her. Finally, I forgot I had this one other thing. There has been another student shooting, and the suspects are, yeah, let's just watch it.
Today at Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia. Let's talk about it. Now, this student was 14 years old. His name is Colt Gray, and he's being charged as an adult for murder. Now, the police did get a call a little after 10 o'clock, or I believe around 10:20, that there was an active shooter in the high school. Now, 2 students and 2 teachers were unalived. Appalachian High School ended up getting warning this morning about the shooting. Now, it's also said that 5 other schools are in danger. They didn't say the days or anything like that, but there was warning given. Now, after seeing how this played out today, if I was a parent in Georgia, I would not be sending my kids to school for the next couple of days. And this has been confirmed by the police. This is a text message between a parent and a child. And as a parent looking at this, it's scary. No child should have to suffer through this. And, you know, how do you expect them to go back to school and just be normal? The sad part about this is normally when you hear about a school shooting, you hear about it right away. It took me hours to hear about it. It's because of how desensitized as a country we are to this. And it's sad. This is our future that we have watching this and enduring this. We have to do better. We have to change things. We have to make this world a better place for them. And I don't know exactly how we're going to do that, but we have to make things better. My prayers and my heart goes out to the families that are victims of this situation. And I'm at a loss for words. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye for now.
ساكن بروحي ما يوم عن عين غبت ساكن بروحي هاي ما نوم.
Sorry about that. I was Googling, and while that was going, I did see that here there is on Glam Beat Entertainment, Dee Dee Blanchard's autopsy report unraveling the mystery behind the tragic unaliving. And this has like a biography of Dee Dee Blanchard, the autopsy finding, background of the case, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, the daughter's perspective, public response and media coverage, mental health issues involved, and legal implications of the case. And then there's a conclusion. So it looks like it's really well done. And I will put the link for this. It includes a few of the crime scene photos. And I also have this where I'm going to include, this is going to take us out. This is the crime scene photos inside the house. And it is inside the Gypsy Rose house and then inside of Nick's house. I'm not feeling that great tonight, you guys. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to show these photos and then just roll it into credits. So I'm going to say, come into see what you guys are saying down in chat, and then I'm going to go. This is so sad, breaks my heart. Yeah, it's really sad. The kid is only 14. Yeah, I don't agree with charging kids as adults, especially when they're that young. If you can't vote, then you shouldn't be charged. Well, I think 17, but like 16 and under, I'm very against it. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I really am not feeling that great. I've had a lot of pain today, a lot of pain issues. So I'm going to let you guys get back to doing what you were doing. If nobody's told you this, I'm going to tell you this. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hi guys, welcome to Parawomen Radio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly. Deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight.